Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me Kagam. Okay you guys, so today I hope that you find today's video informative and helpful. As many of you know, if you've been following my channel from the beginning, Cartier is actually my favorite luxury house. I love Cartier more than I love Big C, Big H, Big LV. It is my favorite brand. I love everything about this house. I love the way they treat their clients because they're not involved in shenanigans, and I love the products. So I wanted to kind of chat to you guys and tell you about some things that I've been learning pertaining to Cartier, and I also wanted to just brief you on some things which maybe you're not familiar with, or if you are familiar, you can go ahead and do these things. So we're just going to talk about watches today. We're not going to talk about jewelry. So I wanted to basically brief you on a few things. Cartier have a special order program that I believe you are allowed to basically go to your Cartier boutique. You have to have a purchase history. I'm pretty sure you can't do this without having a purchase history, but it doesn't need to be like a massive purchase history. You will give your store manager at your local Cartier boutique an idea of how you want your special order watch to look like. And then essentially what will happen is your store manager will then forward your idea to the team in Paris. Cartier is actually a French luxury brand, but as most of you know, it's part of the Richemont group, which is run from Geneva in Switzerland. But all of the special order stuff is done in Paris, and then it will be forwarded to the team in Paris, and then they will pretty much liaise with your boutique. You will not liaise with them directly. I found all of this information out at a link below, so I'm basically summarizing it. I'll link that article below if you want to read it in detail. So I'm just giving you basically a summary of what you can expect. So how long does it take? It can take from basically like 12 months to 3 years, depending on how complex it is. Obviously, you will request the movement that you want also for your watch, and it's pretty much like a Cartier special order or custom order program. It's not, you know, like whenever we talk about luxury brands and purchase history and how much do you need to spend, do you need to spend a certain amount or anything like that? It's not like a specific amount, but I definitely think that you have to be someone who does a shop at the brand. Doing a special order for a watch, I think, is something which, you know, obviously you'd have to be someone who's really into watches. It's my understanding it's available for the men's watches, so like the Santos and the Pasha, and also for the women's watches like the Panther de Cartier and the Tank. So I just wanted to let you guys know about that. If you're already a Cartier VIP, you've probably been offered, you know, many opportunities to maybe do a special order for a watch, if that's something that you're interested in. We're already seeing this whole thing of special orders for watches being done at many other brands as it is, but Cartier have such a vibrant, rich history of really beautiful watch designs, so you can pretty much just come up with a special order for your watch and you can pretty much design your own watch. However, there are some terms that you have to agree to. Cartier essentially do say like you have to agree to the fact that they can technically make your watch into like not necessarily a commercial design, but they can make it again. Let's say you make a really cool special ordered design, they reserve their rights to manufacture that and make it kind of like for everyone kind of. So you have to be willing to go into that. Apparently this has never actually happened, and technically it won't happen from all of the research that I've done online, but you have to accept those terms. So like I said, it can take up to, it's like it can go from like 12 months and it can go up to 3 years. It really depends on how complicated it is. I feel like this is such a beautiful gift, maybe for someone in your family, maybe for your spouse, your partner, your husband, your boyfriend. I feel like this would be such a stunning present for someone who you know loves watches, because I mean, say what you want about Cartier, but Cartier do have put numbers on the scoreboard, particularly when it pertains to like the men's watches. Like Louis Cartier, he designed the Santos, I think in like the 1900s. He also designed the Tank. Like the house has a very deep history with watches, and to be completely blunt, I'm pretty sure he created the Santos before Rolex was even founded. So actually Cartier's watchmaking history is very, very, very deep. and it's legit. You can't come for Cartier, baby, and you can't say anything, honey, because she has been in it for a very long period of time. So I wanted to let you guys know about that. Obviously, pricing, you know, we can't talk about pricing because it's a special order. It is customized for you, so the price is going to be whatever it is. It's my understanding that you basically pay like a deposit in order to get the ball rolling. So I wanted to tell you guys about that Cartier special order tee in case you were interested. I'm definitely sure that you can special order jewelry as well, but that's not really what we're talking about here. We're only talking about doing a special order for watches for those of you who are interested. And like I said, it's not so much purchase history dependent so much as it is you maybe being a regular shopper of the house. So maybe you do just buy rings, maybe you buy just like steel pieces, maybe you don't really buy super expensive things. Technically, you can still be able to maybe mention it to your SA, who will then forward your request to the store manager. And as long as it's something that the team in Paris can make for you, it will then be forwarded to them and they will come back with notes. Sometimes they might also come with their own input. They might say, look, you know, maybe you should do this, or maybe we should add this, and maybe we should add that. So I just wanted to let you guys know about this opportunity. I think it's really cool. Van Cleef & Arpels also do special orders for their clients. I know many of you love the brand. So just super quick, like VCAs do special orders, I beg your pardon, more for jewelry. But you do, for those of you in the US, you do need to spend about $80,000 in lifetime spend in order to qualify for a Van Cleef & Arpels special order. Now I want to tell you guys about some of the best watches that you can go ahead and buy from Cartier. Let me start off with my favorite line of the brand, the Panther de Cartier. You know that is the mascot of Cartier. That is like their symbol, which is of course the panther, which is of course one of Africa's top big cats, honey. You know what time it is. So I wanted to show you just some beautiful watches that you can go ahead and get at the moment. One of the Panther de Cartier watches is one of my holy grail watches. These are solid gold watches, some of them. They also have steel options. They also have a steel and gold mix. Which one? I think that one is really nice. I think in the EU that one's like $8,250, and I think in the US that's like $8,000. And like I said, they also have like a medium model, which is super beautiful. I think that one in America is like, I think in the US that's like $20,000, maybe $25,000, something like that. I will link my favorite models below so you can go on the website and have a look. I think one reason why I love the Panther de Cartier line is I just think it's just peak femininity. I think this is one of the most beautiful watches made for women. I think it's so elegant. Right now a lot of the trends in watches is these massive huge dials. You see this at Rolex, you see this at Richard Mille, and at brands like that. And so women are choosing men's watches more. I think that's fine and everything, but I think for me, I think they look very masculine, like on me. So I will always recommend that you look more towards like the ladies' watches again. I think you can rediscover so much glamour and beauty and elegance with the sort of classic ladies' watches. I'm definitely at the Panther de Cartier line because, like I said, they have steel, they have that steel and gold mix as well, and they also have, you know, gold. They also have like these like Panther de Cartier jewelry watches that are so stunning. They cost an absolute fortune, but they are so beautiful, and I think worth every single penny if you're interested. They're super, super beautiful. They look like you'd wear them more for like evening events and things like that. This is my favorite line of the brand. It encapsulates everything that I like about luxury. It is unapologetically glamorous, beautiful. I think the feline theme, like the theme of the panther, I feel like that is just like this kind of like raw femininity that you just can't put it into a bottle. You can't constrain it. You can't, there's something about it that's very unbridled, and that I love so much. So I just wanted to recommend the Panther de Cartier one. Just in terms of aesthetics, you have to. One of the watches here is one of my holy grail ones. If you're watching my old videos from a long time ago, you know which one here. I won't tell you which one it is. The people who've been watching this channel know the one that I like out of all of the ones that I had mentioned. The next one for women that I think think is super beautiful is the tank, of course, which is one of the hallmark like watches from Cartier. And like I said, Louis Cartier designed the tank as well. This one is really, really nice. I feel like the tank has warmed, has grown on me over time. Like I said, I feel like the tank is probably just much more subtle than the Panther de Cartier line. The Panther de Cartier line, I feel like if you're a Taurus like me, that's such a Taurian choice, but I feel like the tank is also really great. They have steel options, they have gold options as well. They have many different types of options. I think it's just another beautiful, super feminine choice. I feel like the tank can also be worn every day. I would, if I had the Panther de Cartier, I would still wear it daily, but I feel like the tank can probably be worn easier every day, particularly the steel options. You could easily wear them to work, even if you work in a very conservative environment. I mean, really, who's going to know unless the person's really into watches? Like I said, I feel like Cartier's ladies' watches are a breath of fresh air. When I look at the current trends for women's watches today, like really, really big dials with tons of diamonds on the dials and on the faces of the watches. And don't get me wrong, Cartier do have those options, like for the Panther de Cartier line, for example. But I feel like for those of you who like sleek, elegant watches, and maybe some of you have told me, look, I don't want diamonds like in my watches, like, hey, go to Cartier. You could get yourself a tank. It doesn't have to have diamonds. You can get yourself the Panther de Cartier. It doesn't have to have diamonds either. You can't go wrong with either model. I think they're both absolutely beautiful. They're just very different. The tank is just much more, I feel like if you're a minimalist, you like the tank more. The Roman numerals are super beautiful. Roman numerals are massive for Cartier. That just gives it that like vintage kind of old world, like aristocratic vibe compared to like maybe other watch brands. And I love Roman numerals. If you're a member of my group, I use Roman numerals a lot. I love them. I just love them. I love history, and I just love I love everything about that kind of stuff. And it's not for everyone, but I think it's so amazing. So Panther de Cartier, beautiful, amazing, stunning. Love it. The tank, absolutely beautiful and stunning. The tank is probably a little bit too subdued for me, but I wouldn't rule it out because I think it's just such a beautiful piece. I think it's such a classic piece as well. A lot of you have told me that you like capsule wardrobes, you want to kind of curate your collection. I don't know how we can talk about ladies' watches in a curated collection without mentioning the tank. Like, that's wild to me. You have to have that. Now, I also had some suggestions as well for the boys, and you guys can tell me what you think, because I have been researching this as well. Of course, we have to talk about the Santos. So the Santos line, I feel like they have done a lot of changes and they have overhauled this line a lot. The Panther de Cartier line, the watches tend to have the quartz movement. In the watch community, many people look down on that for some reason. To be completely honest with you, I don't really care about like the snobbery and the elitism around the watch community. I could care less. I really like watches, but for me, aesthetics and visuals matter more for me when it pertains to the women's watches. Now, for the men's watches, I know that people care about the like the movement a lot. A lot of these Santos models do have the automatic movement. Some of them also have a hand wound movement as well. So you can just choose the movement that suits you, but I think the aesthetics of the Santos is just, again, just beautiful masculine lines. It's just such a masculine watch, and I love just like the masculinity of that watch, and I just think it looks really, really great. I think it's got a great history as well. I think if you're a watch aficionado, you would absolutely love like the history, the fact that Louis Cartier like came up with the idea for the Santos and it was his design. I feel like that kind of stuff, it still matters today, like to know that like the founder of the house was like involved in this creation, which more than 100 years later is still very relevant. So I wanted to mention that one as well. Now, I feel like the wild card that I'm going to talk about right now is the Pasha de Cartier line. I feel like this one is a bit of a wild card because I've seen that men wear it, and I've also seen that women wear it as well. I feel like the Pasha is is probably just much more whimsical. It's very whimsical. The dial is very large. The face is very exaggerated. Like the way the numerals are written, the numbers are they just look really big. It's not everyone's cup of tea. There's something about it that reminds me of like Lewis Carroll's like Alice in Wonderland, which is one of my favorite books. It's very whimsical. It's very over the top, but it also has a lot of character, and I think that that is something that is missing from a lot of watches that target men today. All of them kind of look the same. Like all of them look the same, and I feel like this is just a really cool watch that looks fresh and different. Again, it's not going to be for everyone, but I just think it looks really cool. So I wanted to suggest those watches for men and women. I would love to know which ones you guys have, which ones you're interested in. What do you guys think about Cartier watches? And for those of you who care about movements, don't start talking about quartz movements all day. Go on the websites linked below and go and check out the Santos options. There are a ton of automatic movements on there, hand wound movements as well. So I don't want to hear anyone complaining about movements, because Cartier do have watches available with automatic movements. So I'd love to know which ones you guys like the most. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. This is like my first watch video in a very long time that I've taken effort to make. I'd love to know if you're interested in like me posting more about watches, because I'm getting into them. I want to kind of talk about my aesthetics, because my aesthetics is what's going to drive the videos. I can only talk about watches that I like, so I don't talk about things that I don't like. If I don't like something, I'm not talking about it. I hope that's okay, but there's some really great watch channels out there that I wanted to mention just in case you guys were interested. Again, these are watch channels that match my aesthetics and what I'm interested in. I'm going to mention two channels that I like. There's a channel called The London Watch Collector. He's anonymous, and he posts watches that he buys for himself and for his wife. He doesn't post often, but when he posts the watches, the watches are really interesting to look at, and I liked to see the taste that he has and he shares with his wife. So like he'll show watches that he gets for himself, and every now and then he'll be like, oh, I bought this one for my wife as well. So there's the London Watch Collector. There's also another watch page called the Dubai Expat. He tends to post a lot about Rolex, so if you really enjoy like Rolex and things like that. For me, I tend to watch people, see what I did there? I tend to watch people just for aesthetics. Like I like to see like the dial and the face of the watch. I want to see like the bracelet. How does the bracelet fit? And like I care more about aesthetics. Like movements don't really matter to me. I don't really care about that, and I know that's very taboo, like particularly in the watch community. Like they don't like, I feel like the watch community doesn't like people like me, but I do actually think I represent how a lot of people view watches. Many people look to aesthetics. So for example, Cartier is my favorite brand. The Panther de Cartier watch, one of them, I won't tell you which one it is, you should know if you watch this channel for a while, is one of my holy grail watches. But I like fashion watches. I think the watches that Gucci makes are fun. I'm sorry, don't come for me, but I like them. I think they're fun. I think Versace's fashion watches look fun. I like fashion watches. I feel like there are watches for everything out there, and you can be into Audemars Piguet, like the Lady Royal Oaks. I like those watches. I'd love to get one of them. Like I said, the Panther de Cartier in gold, love. So, I'm into the AP Royal Oaks for the ladies' sizes. I'm into Panther de Cartier, but I also like Gucci's fashion watches. I'm sorry, no one's gonna shame me for liking fashion watches. Like for me, it's about aesthetics and how things look. But you don't have to spend a ton of money either. There are lots of great brands out there, and you don't have to spend a ton of money. It doesn't have to be a Rolex if you don't want it to be. Like I said, Cartier steel options, in my opinion, particularly in the Panther de Cartier collection, they're very affordable. I think the small like Panther de Cartier steel watch, I think in Europe it's like just under 4,000 euros. I think that's very affordable for a beautiful watch from Cartier. Even though it is a quartz movement watch, I think that's a great beginning. If you're thinking of like, I'm trying to buy a watch for maybe under like $5,000 or under 5,000 euros, you can definitely look at those steel options from Cartier. Another great thing is, and this is one of the best things about the Cartier watches, the watch brands are notorious for shenanigans in games when it pertains to buying watches. Men are being put through the ringer and being, you know, there's so much drama with trying to attain these watches. It's just much harder for men to buy like the larger size dial. So that's why I was also saying, like, for the women's sizes, it's much easier. Like, it's my understanding, like, Audemars Piguet will probably sell a lady-sized Royal Oak to a new female client, even without purchase history, because they would like to get like more women customers. Just from like my research and everything, you don't even have to go through that with Cartier, because there is no game. You can walk into any Cartier boutique today and purchase any watch in the Panther collection. You don't need to have a purchase history. You don't need to have this and this and this. And Cartier does not do that, to its credit, at least as far as I am aware from all of the research that I've done and my knowledge of how the Cartier boutiques work. But good luck going to an AD and trying to get a really hard to get watch that people are struggling so hard to get, like a Daytona. Like, good luck. I don't even know how much the pre-spend for like that watch within the men's sizing would be. We haven't even started talking about Patek and what Patek makes people go through. So maybe that can be another video. We can talk about those models. But if you like me to talk about watches, my preference is always to talk about the just the ladies' watches, because those are the watches that I think aesthetically look good on me. I remember once someone commented on a luxury YouTuber's page. I think she was unboxing a watch, and someone told her that she got a quote, this is not my word, but this is what the person said. They said that she got a Rolex that's for grandmothers because it was like one of the lady sizes. It was a beautiful, elegant Rolex. I don't know why people say things like this. I think it's just so ignorant and stupid, if you ask me, to say things like that. It's kind of like the way people say that big H bags are ugly and are for old people and they look really old and stupid. Like that, you are stupid for saying that, okay? So let's keep that kind of stuff away from this channel, because I don't really like comments like that, because that's someone's personal taste, and I don't think that you can say that someone's personal taste is like to make disparaging comments about people's taste. I think is just really annoying, and that is not what I'm about. I know that many women like those bigger dials right now, like the men's sizes, and I think if you do, that's really great. But I'm into the ladies' sizes, because I just feel like on my wrist, for example, like this is my wrist. I'm just wearing this this costume jewelry bracelet my mum gave me on my wedding day, this one, and then I'm wearing my Swarovski crystal ring here, and I have my wedding set here. Like I feel like for me, like the ladies' sizes, I think a lady size is anything below, I think it's anything below 37 millimeters is considered ladies, and above 37 millimeters is did I say milliliters or millimeters? 37 millimeters. Below that is ladies, above that is men's. I just feel like for me it's just much more feminine to have just the ladies' size watches for me. But of course you should do what you like. Anyway, I just wanted to share those tidbits about Cartier, about the Cartier special order watch program, and also the best watches to buy at Cartier at the moment. And I forgot, there's another watch YouTuber who's a woman. She's really great. She's called Beth. She hasn't posted in some time, but she's called Beth T. She posts really cool watch videos that are geared to women. It's really great to see content from women, because I feel like a woman's perspective can be very fresh and different, and we see things very differently. So go check out her page as well. Beth T, the Dubai Expat, the London Watch Collector. Those are the three channels that I watch when it pertains to watches and timepieces, and those are the three channels that I like. All of the watches that they choose go with my aesthetics. That's why I watch them. So for me, watches are very visual. And just before I forget, the Tank and the Pasha lines are unisex, so they're options for men and women. So just remember that. You can still find something for men and women in the Tank collection, and the same thing with Pasha. But I still feel like Pasha's watches just have like a much more masculine vibe. I think they look really good on men. And same with Tank. Like Tank, there are lots of great options for men, and they're also great options for women. So that's something that I really like about Cartier. Again, like everyone can find something for themselves, like men and women alike can find something for themselves. So I really hope that you have liked this video. It's really important that you like the video with a thumbs up, because that will like show me should I make more watch videos, and should I not. You now know my philosophy when it pertains to watches. I think I've told you guys, many of you before, but if you're new to my channel, I am the daughter of like 2 diplomats, and my father was an ambassador. I was looking at some old pictures of dad to get ready for this video, and he always had really nice watches in all of those pictures. And I was actually talking to my mum about this, and she said that his brand of choice was Seiko. So I've been learning a lot about him as well, even though he's passed on now, through the watches as well. So it's a really cool, I think that's like the cool thing about watches. You learn a lot about people through the watches that they have. So I've told you my watch philosophy. I really just care about aesthetics. I feel like sometimes like the watch community, I think, can come across a little bit like tunnel vision. Sometimes people just want to talk about the same brands all the time. I want to talk about every brand. I don't care whether it's like Jacob the jeweler's watches. I don't care if it's Patek or Audemars. I don't care if it's a fashion watch like from Gucci or Versace. If it looks good, I want to talk about it. I want to show it to you, and you can make a decision on what you decide to buy. I really hope that you like this video. I hope that you subscribe and stick around. If you love watches, I would love to see you in my Facebook group. I just would love to see more of you there who are watch people. Post your watches in the group. In fact, go post a watch right now. Okay, go post one of your watches right now. I would love to see you there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the weekend in my next video.